رمضان تجلى وابتسم قبى للعبد إذا اغتنما.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today is characteristic number 28, Izzah.
This word cannot be translated in one word, and that's why we didn't have it there in the text. If you want to come up with a few words that actually define Al-Izzah, you can think of things like might, honor, respect, dignity, prestige, fame, glory. All these things are somewhat part of the aspect of Izzah. In the Arabic language, Izzah can be used in two different ways. And we also see this in the Qur'an of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Izzah in of itself can be used in the praiseworthy way and in the blameworthy way. It can be used to praise someone, it can be used to put blame and to put, that type of arrogance on a certain individual. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses this in the Qur'an as well. The first way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Izzah in order to praise a group of people, He uses it in Surah Al-Munafiqun, chapter number 63, verse number 8. He says towards the end of the ayah, the verse, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَكِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. And
His might belongs to Allah, to His Messenger, and the believers, but the hypocrites know not.
But in another place in the Qur'an, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word Izzah in order to disgrace some people, subhanAllah. In Surah An-Nisa, chapter number 4, verse 139, towards the end of the verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أَيَبْتَغُونَ عِندَهُمُ الْعِزَّةَ فَإِنَّ الْعِزَّةَ لِلَّهِ جَمِيعًا.
Do they seek might with them? Verily, then to Allah belongs all might, honor, power, and glory.
So subhanAllah, in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if you are trying to get any type of honor from anyone else, you won't get it without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can only find honor in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in His Prophet and in His religion and with the believers who believe in this religion. This is why Umar ibn Khattab, radiallahu anhu, the second caliph of Islam, said
that we were the most undignified people on earth and Allah honored us with Islam. And whenever we seek honor in anything else, Allah will humiliate us.
So subhanAllah, they realized that they were the worst people. And it is Islam that gave them that honor. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has guided them to Islam that has given them that honor. So they really took it as part of their dignity, as their dignity in and of itself. We need to realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first and foremost, He honored us as a creation, as human beings. He's honored us over all other creations because He's given us this chance and this opportunity to actually choose the right path. And if we do choose it, then we are honored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we are choosing to worship Him and Him alone.
So now what does this mean to us in our daily lives as humans who are honored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That He has given us this izzah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored us with Islam. And subhanAllah, just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, there was a picture floating around social media on Facebook about Beyonce, and she had a picture of her with hijab on, and people were saying, oh mashallah, she's wearing hijab. But subhanAllah,
as if subhanAllah, that gives us honor.
Right?
It's not honoring us. Right? Islam is an honor on her. If she decides to become Muslim, if she wears hijab, that's honor for her. That's not honor for us.
Exactly like Ayman said, like subhanAllah, if Beyonce were to become Muslim, it would be great that we have another Muslim. Alhamdulillah, we have actors and actresses and sports stars who become Muslim. But the fact that they become Muslim is an honor for them, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them the honor of joining Islam, that He has given them the guidance, and that they should have the izzah that they have become Muslim. But just to see somebody, do some random act that isn't even Muslim and that we feel honored by them, by, doing something that, a Muslim does, even though they're not Muslim. This isn't something that we should take honor in. And subhanAllah, you have people, who their names are, are maybe hard to pronounce, or maybe they're named after a sahabi, or they have this name that their parents had chosen for them. Or their name is Muhammad, but they want to change it because they feel shy. But no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored you, that your parents honored you with this name of, of Muhammad, or after a sahaba, or this great name, that we should be honored, and that we shouldn't feel shy in front of anybody other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Now there are valid reasons as to why you should change your name in some cases, but for the majority, if you're changing your name for, because of a social pressure or social norms, or because of this or that, and you're losing your actual heritage, your actual religious heritage and stuff like that, then subhanAllah, that's not izzah. You're not practicing the izzah that the Prophet Muhammad wants us to practice. Being proud of where your roots come from, the Islamic roots that you have as in your values. Being proud that you're named after Suhaib, being proud that you're named after this Sahabi and that Sahabiya.
And we should keep in mind that sometimes we have this honor and we have have this izzah, but there was one important thing, that sometimes we feel this izzah when we're in part of a jama'ah, that when we're in a group of people. And I'll share an experience that sometimes, maybe you've been on campus and you know it's time to pray. And when you're all by yourself, you feel that like, you're shy, that you don't want to pray in front of people, and maybe you have this feeling that somebody's going to be looking at you, which is all valid. Sometimes there's, cases where you shouldn't pray in public. But just having another person with you, subhanAllah, if it's me and somebody else, I feel so much more dignified, or there's less pressure knowing that I'm with somebody else that's going to back me up.
And if it's a bigger group, subhanAllah, the shyness goes away and you have this izzah. You really feel like you're proud to be part of this group, that you are blessed and honored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the honor and that's the izzah that we're trying to bring back into our hearts throughout our everyday life. So let's say the catchphrase proudly, a little bit of izzah. So to help you get through Ramadan each and every day, check out the Mass Arizona page to get your daily dose.